Organization meeting, please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Jessica Lopez, Third Ward.
Michael Safone, Fourth Ward.
Matthew Williver, Fifth Ward.
Ann Shershon, Sixth Ward.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, attorney for the town.
John Baisley, Town Supervisor. Welcome, everybody. Tonight's agenda is rather lengthy, but a lot of it is standard business practice. The first item is a resolution for 1 Dutchess Avenue, a zoning change. Number 2, appoint attorneys to the town. 3, adopt a non-union salary schedule. 4, appoint the registrars. 5, appoint the sub-registrars. 6, appoint the deputy registrars. 7, appoint the marriage officers. 8, emergency chain of command. 9, emergency interim successors. 10, records access management officer. 11, record management board. 12, appoint the comptroller for 2020. 13, appoint the town historian. 14, appoint Arlington Business Improvement District representatives. 15, appoint Historic Preservation Commission representatives. 16, appoint Bureau of Fire reps. 17, reappoint the CAC members. 18, appointment for the Planning Board. 19, appointment for the Board of Ethics. 20, appointment to the Zoning Board. 21, appointment to the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission. 22, appointment to the Joint Water Board. 23, appointment to the Plumbing Board. 24, designate the official banks. 25, adopt the holiday schedule. 26, adopt the 2020 Town Board meeting schedule. 27, approve and adopt the 2020 highway rental rates. 28, approve and adopt the 2020 highway supplies. 29, authorize the 2020 agreement to expend highway funds, the 284 agreement. 30, readopt the rules of the town board. 31, authorize the bonds for the town officials. 32, adjustment of the holiday schedule for highway department to the leaf pickup. 33, authorize the business mileage reimbursement. 34, is being pulled. 35, authorize supervisor to sign the grant writing services agreement. 36, authorize supervisor to sign dog control housing agreement. 37, a renewal agreement for EAP program. 38, designation official newspaper. 39, individuals to sign checks. 40, authorize supervisor Washington Hollow Rod and Gun Club for the police department. 41, authorize supervisor to sign investment in New York class. 42, authorize budget transfers. 43, ratify the purchase of police vehicles. 44, liquor license renewals for Table Talk Diner and Planet Wings and Pizza. 45, supervise execution of county extension agreement shared services, county extension agreement drug task force, amendment to drug task force. 46, town delegate for the Associated City Towns. 47, resignation of Robert Dunlap. I make a motion to suspend the rules for any item.
All of them are different than yours. Yeah. Everyone else has a different.
Yeah.
Different. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all there, it's just the numbers might be
46
different.
is an SC, and
46
there's
is SC,
SC1
resignation of-
retirement.
Yeah.
They're there,
Of
just different
lieutenant
numbers.
and announcements for board action. I'll get rid
We
of this
did change them.
one. Make a motion to suspend the rules for any item on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to discuss any item on the agenda? If not, motion to resume the rules.
So moved.
Second.
All
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Renahan.
We're gonna do the first one first?
Yep.
Okay. Whereas the town board has received an application from O'Neill Group Dutton LLC requesting a change of zoning for tax parcel numbers 6062-02-763508 and 606202745510, located at 1 Dutchess Avenue, Poughkeepsie, New York, in the town of Poughkeepsie, from heavy industrial IH district to waterfront housing overlay district, WHOD. And whereas a proposed amendment is attached hereto and incorporated herein, and the town board does hereby waive a verbatim reading of said amendment and does direct that said amendment be spread across the record as if it, in fact, had been read verbatim, And whereas the proposed zone amendment is expressly intended to accommodate a proposed mixed-use development with 84 residential units and 4,000 square feet of commercial space on the approximately 4 acres in the town as part of a larger mixed-use waterfront redevelopment involving an approximately 14.3 acre site in the town and the city of Poughkeepsie, hereinafter the One Dutchess Avenue project. And whereas the City of Poughkeepsie Common Council, acting as lead agency for the environmental review of the proposed action under SECR, accepted a final environmental impact statement on March 19th, 2012, and adopted and issued a written statement of findings relative to the overall project on May 7, 2012. And whereas the City of Poughkeepsie Planning Board substantially granted a site plan and other approvals for the portion of the project located in the city, and that portion of the project is now under construction. And whereas the town board, as an involved agency under SECR, must prepare and adopt in its own written findings prior to rendering its decision on the proposed rezoning. And whereas town staff reviewed the applicant's project assessment dated September 9th, 2019, revised October 7th, 2019, and prepared a draft finding statement dated December 12th, 2019, for the town board's consideration. And whereas on April 17, 2019, the town board referred the application to the planning board for review of recommendations pursuant to 210-21.1, and referred the proposed amendment to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development and to municipalities adjoining the town of Poughkeepsie pursuant to 210-155. And whereas on May 16, 2019, the town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board considered the requested waterfront housing overlay district designation for One Dutchess Avenue and voted 6-0 to recommend to the town board that the application does support a waterfront housing overlay district designation. And whereas on May 20th, 2019, the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development pursuant to General Municipal Law 239-M advised that the adoption of this amendment is a matter of local concern. And whereas the town clerk notified the clerks of surrounding municipalities of the public hearing pursuant to GML 239-NN. And whereas legal notice of the public hearing was posted on May 16, 2019, and published in Poughkeepsie Journal on May 20, 2019. And whereas the town board of town of Poughkeepsie opened a duly noticed public hearing on June 5, 2019, and closed the public hearing on the 18th day of December 2019. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie hereby, one, adopts the secret finding statement prepared by staff dated December 12, 2019, finds that the proposed zone amendment would not have significant adverse effects on the environment for the reasons set forth therein, and certifies that the requirement of 6 NYCRR 617 of the secret regulations have been met, and 2, determines the proposed zone amendment is consistent with the town of Poughkeepsie's approved local waterfront revitalization program, and 3, finds the proposed WHOD zoning designation is consistent with the WHOD purpose and requirements as set forth in Town Code 210-21.1, and 4, waives the 3-story maximum building height requirement in 210-21.1 to allow the 2 proposed 4-story buildings pursuant to 210-21.1 C13, and being enacted pursuant to Article 3, 210-11 of the Town of Poughkeepsie Code, that the zoning designation for tax parcel 6062-02-763508 and 6062-02-745510, known as One Dutchess Avenue, Poughkeepsie, New York, in the town of Poughkeepsie, consisting of approximately 4 acres of land, is amended from heavy industrial IH district to waterfront housing overlay WHO district, and be it further enacted that said local law shall take effective immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So moved.
Second?
The motion is second. Any questions or comments?
I have some comments, Mr. Supervisor, if I may.
Go right ahead.
I went through the resolution on, that the town board, some of us voted on in 2016, and I matched up the statements in that document to the revisions that have been given to us from our planning staff. And I'm going to go through. One, I think it needs to be on the record of what the changes are, what's happened, because this didn't have a very comfortable road in the beginning. And so I'll just take a few minutes and go through them as quickly as I can. There's going to be two quotes. The first section that I talk about will be from the original resolution, and the second will be from our October 7th plan from our own planning board. From the 2016 resolution, the proposed project is not consistent with the purposes of the WHOD Waterfront Housing District. The town board has determined that approval of the requested zoning amendment is not in the best interest of the town for the following reasons. Pursuant to 210-211A of the town code, the Waterfront Housing District Overlay District is to encourage provisions of mixed uses along the Hudson River waterfront in the town of Poughkeepsie. The revision, October 7, 2019, the current proposed plan provides a one-story standalone building with 4,000 square feet of commercial space. This space could support a variety of potential uses that would be available to the residents of the project as well as visitors to the waterfront. The proposed site plan provides a viable residential commercial mix for the purposes of the WHOD. Point, not enough commercial mixed use. WHOD is to encourage provision of mixed uses. March 5, 2014, Town Board made repeated requests of the applicant to provide a mix of commercial uses. The applicant has not provided to the board a revised layout depicting a viable commercial mix integrated into the project. To obtain a favorable recognition from the town board, the project would need to incorporate neighborhood-scale commercial development, including shops and services that would be available to residents as well as visitors to the waterfront. Point 2, the project is too dense. It has 84 units, which is too high for the land available. Note, pursuant to Town Code Section 210-21.1 sub C5, the maximum residential density is 28 units per acre as determined by the town board. The project has 3.8 acres. While the layout for the project depicts landscaped areas that meet the minimum set forth in the code for most cases, these areas are nothing more than narrow strips of land a few feet wide containing grass and some trees and shrubs. To obtain a favorable recognition by the town board, the project would need to incorporate areas of usable open space, as that term is defined in our zoning law specifically, quote, an unenclosed portion of ground of a lot which is not devoted to driveway, access roads, parking spaces, which is free of structures, and that would interfere with the functionality of the open space, and is intended for the use of the property, which is no less than 8 feet in width at any point, which is available and accessible to all occupants of the building or buildings on said lot, or on a separate dedicated lot as part of a common development scheme for purposes of active or passive outdoor use. The lack of any outdoor area proposed as green spaces and common areas, that is, usable open space, indicates that the overall residential density is too high for the site and must be reduced in order to provide ideal quality of living environment for residents. In order to obtain town board recognition, the amount of usable open space would need to be 10 to 35% of the total square footage of the site, following the examples of other overlay districts as set forth in Chapter 210 of the Town Code. Excuse me. A lack of any outdoor areas proposed as green spaces and common areas, that is, usable open spaces, indicates that the overall residential density is too high for the site and must be reduced in order to provide a quality living environment for the residents. The revision, as of October 7th, applicant modified the layout and reduced the number of residential buildings from 7 to 2, allowed for the provision of usable open space for future residents of the town property. Open space is provided in several areas, as indicated on the plans, and outdoor amenity areas provided between the residential buildings. The area is 7,200 square feet in size and will include barbecue and kitchen facilities. Next point. Project is devoid of any, these are the reasons why we rejected it. The project is devoid of any on-site recreational amenities. The town board, through its sole discretion to approve, modify, or deny an application for a WHOD, the zoning amendment, has determined that the unique siting of the project on the banks of the Hudson River compel the inclusion of on-site recreation as a part of the proposed plan. the town board has determined that some level of recreational facilities should be incorporated into the project design, and that such facilities cannot merely be a walking path. Further, the town board has determined the applicant's proposed improvement of the waterfront lot adjacent to, in the city, the Dutton project, would be available to the general public is not a substitute for providing on-site recreational amenities for the residents of the proposed development in the town. The revision, October 7th. Approximately 15,520 square feet of on-site common areas or recreation space will be provided on the town property. These areas include an outdoor recreation area with cooking facilities, a common fourth-floor balcony with community rooms in both residential buildings, and a rooftop terrace on the commercial building. Residents in the town portion of the development will have full access to the recreational facilities in the town portion, consisting of more than 1 acre of open space, 56,450 square feet, and recreational facilities. In addition, residents will have full access to the new public waterfront park and walkway, 3 acres of which 0.58 acres is in the town. Next point. Project lacks sufficient parking for residents and visitors pursuant to Town Code Section 210-21 Sub 1 C5. Minimum parking should be provided at a ratio of 1.5 spaces per dwelling unit, or such other ratio as may be approved by the town board. The town board has determined that parking should be provided on a per-bedroom basis in order to ensure sufficient parking for the project. As such, the town board has determined that a parking rate of 1.25 spaces per bedroom would be appropriate in order to ensure sufficient parking not only for residents but for guests as well. The revision, dated October 7th. The proposed plan provides for the parking requested by the town board and consistent with the zoning code. As indicated on the plans, 140 spaces are provided for town residents based upon the 1.25 space per bedroom. An additional 16 spaces are provided for the proposed commercial space, compliant with existing zoning requirements. A total of 156 spaces are required by code, and 159 spaces are provided. Note that the 2014 site plan had 185 parking spaces. The new site plan is 159. Proposed driveway aisle width of 24 feet is too narrow. Pursuant to Town Code Section 210-92H, a typical driveway width for this type of project would be 26 feet in order to provide sufficient backup and maneuver room between the curbs and between opposing on-street parking spaces. The town board has determined that the driveway aisle widths for the project should meet the standard of 26 feet as set forth in the zoning code, and that said standard is the minimum necessary to ensure access for emergency vehicles and public safety for the Dutton project. Revision, dated October 7th. The main access driveways connecting the town property to the city property are 26 feet in width, as these driveways will have the most traffic. The internal driveways, aisles between parking areas, are proposed at 24 feet in width. The applicant has completed a truck turning radius analysis to show that an aerial fire truck can access all areas of the town development with the proposed driveway and aisle width. The details of the driveway and parking aisle layout will be revised during the site plan review process. Last point. Project layout does not provide sufficient room for snow storage. The lack of sufficient snow storage combined with insufficient parking and restrictive driveway aisle widths indicate during a winter storm in which snowfall is heavy that excuse me again, I'm running out of a winter in which snowfall is heavy, that movement on the site by residents, visitors, delivery vehicles, and emergency vehicles would be set up conditions that could endanger residents' health, safety, and welfare. Similar to the issues of lack of commercial development, adequacy of parking, driveway aisle width, and usable open space, the lack of adequate snow storage is related to the applicant's effort to maximize residential density at the expense of an appropriate and livable mixed-use environment. Revision, October 7th. As shown on the plans, dedicated snow storage areas have been provided on the east and west sides of the development. These dedicated areas include 8,500 square feet Other open areas between parking aisles can be used for snow storage, including along the southern property border and the north and south of the commercial building itself. Okay. So, I tried to give you, several of you were on the board with us in 2016, some were not. This has been a convoluted process since it was started when I first came on the board. And I wanted to make sure that as we come to a vote, that you all understood what the changes have been done by what the prior board did. Okay? There's still some questions. One of the questions I had, and I asked the supervisor before, is can the planning board change anything that we set down in our requirements? And I'm going to 210-21-1 of the Waterfront Housing Overlay District, to the last paragraph, modifications, Chapter 10, 210, Article 4, Resident District Regulations, Waterfront Housing Overlay District of the Town Law of the Town of Poughkeepsie may only be made by the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie. So I am under the impression that if we say 26 feet of driveway width and 24 feet of aisle width in the parking areas, that can't be changed. I took a step further. I called the fire chief in Fairview, and he said that he has absolutely no problem with the aerial fire truck making the turns inside the project. And I want to thank you all for listening to me.
And everybody, I have to say, on the board has been thoroughly involved. And I want to thank Mike Welty for guiding us through this process. It's been a while. It's been many years, and he came on in the middle of the project. And I want to thank the applicant for listening to our concerns in the beginning and following through and listening to what we want to realize. It's our town, and our things we want, what we think is the best for the town. It's not always what the developer wants, but they listen to our concerns.
I just wanted to say a few things. This has been quite a long process through many boards. You have addressed our parking, snow removal, amenities, and walkable space. You did contribute to the open rooftop seating for view, and it's something I really will push for. You guys know that. So I do appreciate that. In fact, you listened. You went back to the drawing board. I appreciate the fact that you finally agreed to pay all recreation fees to the town. We never wanted the green walkway trail. You guys are, the city that's going to maintain that. It's not going to be something left for the town. Though it's going to be beautiful, I agree, but it's not something the town wanted to maintain. Fairview Fire District, I did talk to Chief Mater. He plans to respond to any incident in the town, okay? So the municipal agreement won't have to be breached by you guys, all right? He'll still respond to the city in a mutual aid, but Fairview doesn't fully intend to respond. I think he made it a much better project by going with less buildings. So I'm fine with voting for this project. You guys, you worked with us. You did a good job. You kept communication open through some very difficult times. So I look forward to seeing it come to fruition and come and visit it. All right? So anybody else?
Mike, do you, is it your opinion and the opinion of your department that these 6 points have been addressed adequately? It seems to be what this report indicates. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
very
Yes.
good. Okay.
Oh, and I can't speak for Chief Faber, but I'm certain the town of Poughkeepsie Police are going to respond to any incidents in the town section of that as well. So,
Thank you.
Anybody got anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
No.
passes. Motion passes 6-1. Bill, 2A. Thanks, gentlemen.
More reading. Resolution 2A. Be resolved that the town board find pursuant to town procurement policy, Article 3C, it is in the best interest of the town to reappoint Vanderwater and Vanderwater, LP, as attorneys to the town of Poughkeepsie pursuant to town law, Section 22B, for 2019, with the solicitation of without the solicitation of alternative proposals, and does hereby designated to provide such legal services at town hall, at town board meetings, and by telephone consultation for $111,000, to provide the balance of the required legal services at a rate of $187 per hour for partners, $175 per hour for associates, and $90 per hour for paralegals, subject to an annual share cap of $65,000, together with the zoning and planning board pass-through funded services as requested, and to represent the town in litigation and tax certiorari matters as separately assigned from time to time at $195 for partners, $175 for associates, and $90 an hour for paralegals. So moved.
It's just
Second.
that one change there, right? It's
Yeah.
2020,
Yeah,
right?
do we need a motion for that?
No, I would think not.
Technically,
I'd like to
yes.
make a motion to amend the year to 2020 from 2019.
So
Second.
moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, a motion on the resolution.
Aye.
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 Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Be it resolved that for 2020, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby find pursuant to Town Procurement Policy, Article 3C, that it is in the best interest of the town to reappoint Wallace & Wallace LLP pursuant Section 22B of the Town Law to act as attorney for the town without solicitation of alternate proposals, and does reappoint it to provide services for code enforcement advice and litigation in the Town of Poughkeepsie town courts regarding zoning, noise control, animal control, building code control, and violations, parking violations, and vehicle and traffic enforcement at the rate of $155 per hour, subject to an annual maximum cap of $60,000 from the legal department budget line, with any surplus reverting to the general fund at the end of the year 2020, together with the zoning board and planning board pass-through funded services at the rate of $187 per hour for partners of the council and senior associate attorneys, $175 per hour for associates, and $90 per hour for paralegals, and zoning and planning board matters at those rates subject to a shared cap of $65,000 per year. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby find that it is in the best interest of the town pursuant to Town Procurement Policy, Article 3C, to authorize the supervisor to sign a labor and employment legal services letter agreement for the year 2020 between the Town of Poughkeepsie and David R. Wise Esquire of the law firm Mackey, Butts & Wise at the rate of $190 per hour for attorneys and $105 per hour for paralegals, and is substantially the same terms as 2019 without solicitation of alternate proposals. It is hereby authorized the execution of said agreement. So moved.
Second.
A motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 3, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve and adopt the non-union salary schedule for the year 2020, a copy of which is attached hereto and incorporated herein. So moved.
Second.
A motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Felicia Salvador as the Registrar for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the period of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, with a stipend which is included in the Town Clerk's annual budget. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby confirm the appointment of Kimberly Russell as Sub-Registrar for the Town of Poughkeepsie for a period of January 1st, 2020 through January 31st, 2021, a stipend which is included in the Town Clerk's annual budget. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby confirm the appointment of Kelly Tremper as the Deputy Registrar for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the period of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, at a stipend, which is included in the Town Clerk's annual budget. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 7, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint John J. Baisley and Air Shearson as a marriage officers for the years 2020 and 2021 pursuant to New York State Domestic Relations Law, Section 11C. Marriage officers, Chapter 49 of the laws of 1988, whereby said marriage officers will have the authority to solemnize marriages. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint the following individuals as the emergency chain of command for the year 2020, to wit, John J. Baisley, Mark Pfeiffer, Jeffrey Renahan. So moved.
Second?
Motion second, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint the following individuals as emergency interim successors for the year 2020, as requested by Dutchess County Department of Emergency Response. Does hereby specify their rank and order of succession as listed, the following individuals. 1, Mark Pfeiffer. 2, Jeff Renahan. 3, Bill Carlos. And be it further resolved, the supervisor hereby authorized and empowered and directed to execute the emergency interim successor designation form and return it to the Dutchess County Department of Emergency Response. So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 10, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reaffirm the appointment of Felicia Salvatore as the Records Access Officer/Management for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the years 2020 and 2021 at a stipend which is included in the annual budget. So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reaffirm the appointment of Charles Emberger to the Records Management Advisory Board for a 3-year term which expires December 31st, 2022. So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved that Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby appoint John Penna as Town Historian for the period January 1st,
Wait, what you reading, number 12?
13?
Number 12.
Nope.
Read
Skip
12.
12.
You must have got 2 12s here.
No, I got it.
12 is comptroller.
Charlie, we weren't reappointing you, sorry.
But he's gonna be our.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby appoint Charles Emberger to the position of Comptroller for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021. The salary set forth in the annual budget, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint John Penna as the Town Historian for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 14, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Police Lieutenant Shannon Rodriguez to the Arlington Business Improvement District Board of Directors, which appointment is for the period ending June 30th, 2021. And be it further resolved that the Town Board does acknowledge the Supervisor's reappointment of Councilwoman Ann Shearson to said board, which appointment is for the period ending June 30th, 2021. And the Controller's reappointment of Supervisor John J. Baisley, which appointment is for the period ending June 30th, 2020.
21.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Is that
passes
right? Is
7-0.
that word right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Can we review that,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
So it's for the period ended June 30th, 2021.
Yep.
And
I think
is
the of has to be changed to
comptroller
by.
appointed as well?
No, the comptroller has an appointment.
He's appointed
Oh, it's the
J.
comptroller's designation
Yes.
Right.
of the supervisor?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it was right.
Pardon me.
So do we put designation?
No.
No, it's right the way
No,
it
it's
is.
No, it's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, it's right the way it is.
It just didn't
It
read
actually
right.
reads right.
Well, it's a little backwards from the normal. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Weird looking.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Lydia Higginson in the Historic Preservation Commission through April 19th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Matthew Woolover and Jeffrey Renahan to the Bureau of Fire Prevention for the Town of Poughkeepsie for a 3-year term effective January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2022. And be it further resolved, Town Board does appoint Ryan Keefe and Anthony Steen to the Bureau of Fire Prevention Team effective January 1st, 2020. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 17, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Susan Carnes Hecht and Pamela Kingsley to the Conservation Advisory Commission, which appointments are for a two-year term, which terms will run from January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021. And be it further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Pamela Kingsley as the Conservation Advisory Commission chairperson. So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Joan Quinn to serve as a regular member of the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board through December 31st, 2026. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby appoint Charles Emberger to the Board of Ethics as the employee representative, which term expires on February 28th, 2021.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Is that?
Is
Aye.
that 2022 or 2021?
21.
Are we,
Should be 2 years, should be 20.
22.
It's 22? 22 and 2.
If it is not, I'll do
Okay.
Amendment.
an alteration resolution.
Right.
So what is it as it stands?
2022.
It's 22, okay, thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Arthur Grace to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 7-year term commencing on January 1st, 2020, with a termination date of December 31st, 2026. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution number 21, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint John J. Basley and Jeff Renahan to the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission for the years 2020 and 2021. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Jessica Lopez to the Joint City-Town Water Board for a 3-year term, which terms will run from January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2022.
So moved.
That math's not right, though,
Yeah.
is it? Oh, it is?
20, 21.
Oh, okay.
correct.
All right. I'm having a hard time with these years, all right.
Correct.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Good luck.
Be resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby reappoint Ann Shershin as a Town Board Representative to the Town of Poughkeepsie Plumbing Board, which term is effective January 2020 through December 31st, 2021. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 24, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby designate the following banks as the official banks for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the period of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, to wit, M&T Bank, Chase JP Morgan Bank, TD Bank, Sterling National, Greene County Commercial Bank, Key Bank, Signature Bank, Salisbury Bank. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby declare and adopt the following official holidays for the year 2020 to wit: New Year's Day, Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January 20th, 2020. President's Day, Monday, February 17th, 2020. Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 2020. Independence Day, Friday, July 3rd, 2020. Labor Day, Monday, September 7th, 2020. Columbus Day, Monday, October 12th, 2020. Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. Veterans Day, Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 26th, 2020. Day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 27th, 2020. Christmas Day, Friday, December 25th, 2020. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Whereas the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie has determined that a regular meeting of the board shall be held on the first and third Wednesday of each month, with the committee of the whole meeting to be held on the second Wednesday of each month for the year 2020 unless otherwise noted. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby adopt the 2020 Town Board meeting schedule, a true copy of which is attached hereto and incorporated herein. Be it further resolved, said meeting shall be at the Town Hall, Town of Poughkeepsie, 1 over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, it shall commence at 7 PM unless otherwise noted. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas proposals were solicited for the Highway Department rental rates for the year 2020, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve and adopt the Highway Department rental rates for the year 2020 per the recommendation of the Superintendent of Highways, true copies of which are on file in the Town Clerk's office for public inspection. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 28, whereas bids were solicited for highway supplies for the year 2020, and whereas said bids were received and opened, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby award the bids for highway supplies for the year 2020 per the recommendations of the Highway Superintendent as outlined in the documents attached here to and made a part of. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize, adopt, and approve the execution of an agreement pursuant to Section 284 of the New York State Highway Law to expand town highway funds in 2020 according to the terms and conditions set forth therein, a true copy of which is attached hereto and made a part hereof. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt the annexed rules for the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie, a copy of which is attached hereto and incorporated herein. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 31, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby declare and direct that the bonds for all town officials be continued in the same manner as heretofore established and with the same force and effect. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of Town Poughkeepsie does hereby adjust the holiday schedule for the Highway Department due to its leaf pickup commitments on Election Day and Veterans Day as follows. Election Day, November 3rd, 2020, changed to August 6th, 2020, and Veterans Day, November 11th, 2020, changed to December 24th, 2020. Be further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjust the holiday schedule as follows. Independence Day, July 3rd, 2020, changed to April 24th, 2020. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby continue the amount paid for business mileage reimbursement at the current IRS rate. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board finds that it would be the best interest of the town and does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute a contract between the Town of Poughkeepsie and Martin Schneider to provide grant writing services without the solicitation of additional proposals pursuant to Town Procurement Policy Article 3C, which contract will be in effect through December 31st, 2020, in substantially the form as presented. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 35, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to sign a dog control housing agreement with the Dutchess County SPCA for the period of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, in substantially the form annexed, and be it further resolved that the Town Board further finds that it would not be in the best interest of the town to solicit alternate proposals or quotations for such services. And be it further resolved that the Town Board finds that this is a Type 2 action requiring no environmental review. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby designate the Poughkeepsie Journal as the official newspaper for the Town of Poughkeepsie for the period January 1, 2020 to December 31st, 2021. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint the following individuals as the two individuals to sign checks on behalf of the Town of Poughkeepsie for the year 2020 and 2021, to wit, John J. Baisley and Charles M. Berger. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 38, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Washington Hollow Rod and Gun Club, Inc. for use by the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department for target practice for an annual fee of $2,500 in substantially the form annexed, which agreement shall be in effect from January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to invest with the New York Cooperative Liquid Assets Security System and to execute the necessary municipal cooperation agreement and such other documents are necessary to allow for these investments. So moved.
Second.
Get a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby modify the 2019 budget pursuant to the attached budgetary transfer request form submitted by the Comptroller to transfer budget money for auto expenses to interfund transfer account. Auditors would like it to be expensed as follows: from B 3120-0211, $16,000, B 3120-0443, $7,500, B 3120-0432, $15,000, B 3120-0444 for $32,000, B 3120-052 for $12,000, B 3120-0481, $12,500, 2 3120-0203 for a total of $95,000. So moved.
Second.
Motion second.
Excuse me, before you vote on that, this fits with the resolution that follows, that ratifies the chief having signed the agreement to get the cars.
Yeah.
And it's coming out of the 2019 budget?
Yeah.
It is, okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Whereas Chief Faber has submitted a revocable stock procurement purchase order for 4 new leftover 2019 Chevrolet Impala detective vehicles through Ruggs Chevrolet Millbrook for $23,447.50 each, total $93,790. And whereas the chief and the auto center have, per the attached memo, unsuccessfully canvassed for those vehicles through state bid and Chevrolet dealers, and whereas it appears that the price offered by Ruggs is the best available to the town for Chevrolet Impalas, and whereas it further appears that the standardized purchase of Impala vehicles without formal bidding is justified based on the fact the department has several of them in its fleet. They are heavier and more substantial than a smaller model, and purchase them will allow the transfer of police equipment from Impala vehicles to the new ones, and will avoid the auto center having to stock additional parts for tools for service. Now therefore be resolved that the procurement of the vehicles is an equipment purchase which is a type 2 action requiring no environmental review, and it is further resolved that the town board hereby ratifies the purchase order issued by the chief for the 4 Impala vehicles and authorizes a supervisor or his designee to execute all documents necessary to complete the procurement of them. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Chief, thanks for working on that project and getting it accomplished.
Resolution 42A, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby acknowledge receipt of a request on behalf of Table Talk Diner, 2521 South Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, for a waiver of the 30-day review period for a liquor license application, and be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the town clerk's forwarding of a waiver and consent pursuant to the attached request. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby acknowledge receipt of a request on behalf of Planet Wings and Pizza Ibera, 830 Main Street, Poughkeepsie, New York, for a waiver of the 30-day review period for a liquor license application, and be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the town clerk's forwarding of a waiver and consent pursuant to the attached request. So moved.
Second. Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby ratify the supervisor's execution of an extension agreement with the County of Dutchess for the Town County Municipal Consolidated Shared Services Grant Program for the Town Fire District Facility Study, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 43B, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby ratify the supervisor's execution of an agreement with the County of Dutchess, the towns of Hyde Park and East Fishkill, and the cities of Beacon and Poughkeepsie to provide for the county's continued funding through the Municipal Innovation Grant Program of the Drug Enforcement Task Force, a copy of which is attached, is annexed. So moved.
Second.
Then a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Just so everybody knows, this is an agreement that's, I think it's going in its third year, where they're reimbursing us for the Drug Task Force Officer, which is probably one of the greatest benefits we got out of shared service, besides our computer system. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby ratify the supervisor's execution of an amendment agreement with the County of Dutchess and other participating municipalities that July 6, 2018 Drug Enforcement Task Force contract, which amendment reflects the inclusion of the Town of Hyde Park, an amendment to the scope of service paragraphs, and a term extension, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second.
Then a motion second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Be resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby appoint John J. Bays as a delegate to the Association of Towns. Be it further resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize or approve the attendance of all elected and non-elected officials with prior Town Board approval to the annual meeting of the Association of Towns. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does accept with regret the resignation of Robert Dunlop, laborer with the Town of Poughkeepsie Water Department effective January 3rd, 2020. So moved.
Second.
And a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. That brings us to the end of our budget.
46.
That's easy.
46.
Oh, that's it.
Resolution 46 and special consent.
Okay, go ahead.
46, be resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby grant special consent to the following items, to wit: 1, accept the retirement of Lieutenant Gary Holbert, and be it further resolved that upon the objection of any member of the Town Board, an item may be removed from the list and voted on separately. So moved.
Second.
A motion second.
That's going to be a loss, Chief. That's a very good officer. It seems that they get to a certain point, and then all of a sudden they go. They don't stay.
Yeah, but he's not going far, so that's okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept with regret the retirement of Gary Hulbert, Lieutenant, with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department effective January 29th, 2020. So moved.
Second.
A motion second. All those,
Just want to say, I share Bill's, you're going to be losing a very good officer there. He's one of my go-to guys. I've called him all the time, odd hours. He's always there on the phone. Takes a lot of my calls, and he's got a wealth of experience and knowledge. So I know he's going to be missed, but I'm sure somebody will step up. You always do.
we have to vote, all those in favor? Yeah.
Aye.
Opposed? You don't have.
What if we all said no? We've never
It
done
will
that.
be different, yes. Now we've come to the end of the agenda. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any comment at all.
So moved?
Second?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody like to discuss anything at all? If not, a motion to resume the rules.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have appointments. My appointment as deputy supervisor will be, again, Mike Safone. Joyce Longi be the assistant to the supervisor again. And we have committee assignments, which I'll go over and I'll hand them out. Finance Committee, Mike Safone will be the chairman with Jessica Lopez and Bill Carlos on it. Infrastructure and land use have been consolidated this year. Bill Carlos will be the chairman with Ann Shershin and Matt Willover. Technology, Matt Willover will be the chairman with Mike Safone and Ann Shershin. Personnel Committee, Jeff Renahan, Mike Safone, and Jessica Lopez as the chairperson. Recreation and the seniors, Ann Shershin as the chair, and Jeff Renahan and Jessica Lopez. We got a new one, building consolidation, to follow through with the study that we had. It's going to be Bill Carlos and Jessica Lopez. We'll work as a team on that one. Fire Advisory Committee, Jeff Renahan will be the chair of that, and Matt Woolover with the fire officials from Arlington, New Hamburg, and a person from the building department, which we noted earlier on. We'll pass these around, everybody get a copy.
And my deputy town clerks will be the same, Kelly Trimper and Kim Wilson.
Just so everybody knows, we'll go over the list real quick so people know we appointed most of them. Joint Water Board, Bill Carlos became the chairman of Joint Water Board last night. I'll be on the Joint Water Board, and Jessica Lopez will be new on, as long as we also have 3 members from the city of Poughkeepsie. Tri-Municipal has 4 members, 2 from the town of Poughkeepsie and 2 from the village of Wappingers. It'll be myself and Jeff Renahan, and it'll be the town, Ann Shersh will be the town board rep for the plumbing board. She's also liaison for the Climate Smart Committee. And on Arlington bid, it'll be Lieutenant Rodriguez, myself, and Ann Shershin. Fire Advisory, if we stated, is Jeff Renahan and Matt Woolover. Marriage Officer will be myself and Ann. Emergency interim successors, Mark Pfeiffer, followed by Jeff and Bill. Emergency Chain of Commands, myself, Mark Pfeiffer, and Jeff. And Hudson 7, which is a new group that was formed a couple of years back, will be myself and Bill Carlos representing that again. And just so the board knows, if anybody is interested in going to the Association of Towns, which is held on President's Weekend, stop in, we can give you all the information. There's been good years, there's been bad
I
years.
think I emailed it to everybody also.
Did you? Last year was a great, show. I mean, it's to the point where you could actually spend the whole day. There was other years where it wasn't. We've always traveled down and come back, so it makes it easy. It's not an overly big expense for the town to do it. We'll cover your train fare or whatever it is, but it's a good day. It's a good time to act with everybody else that's down there. There's a big turnout at Dutchess County and a big turnout to the county, to the whole state in general. And it's been a decent last couple of years. The first few years, I didn't think it was that good. Last year was a fantastic year. If you find something you want to go, you can go for one day. You don't have to go for all 3. So if anybody's interested, let us know so we can sign them up for that. Does anybody got anything else? Nope. With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.